Today, I'm going to cover how to use the data binning feature in LMA to analyze test data. And to really understand why this feature is useful, it's helpful to look at some common problems we might encounter when we're looking at drive test data. So you can see here in LMA, I have the data from a drive test loaded. And this is the measure of the RSRP as the car was driving around. And if we look at the car's speed over here, we can see that the car was going different speeds at different times. It started off slow, it was stationary, and then it sped up. And the problem with that is that the UE was taking data at a rate of once per second, which means that the periods where the car was slow or stopped are overrepresented. You can see right here where it was stopped at an intersection, there are 8 different data points for what is really the same geographical area. And then you also get situations like this down here, where the car doubled back on itself. There was one route where the car drove through here, and then another one where it came back there. And these data points in the middle are doubled. So the data binning feature is a technique we can use to mitigate that by combining some of these data points that are in the same area. So to initiate data binnings, you're just going to left click on any of the maps, go to trace, and then look at these 5 data binning options. So if I open a binning option, this lets us set up how I want the data binning to happen. So I'm going to do area-based data binning, which means that it's going to basically make a grid over the map, and any of the data points in the same grid are going to be combined. This radius, so I'll leave it at 50 meters, and then I am going to have it show the average, but you can set it to min, max, depending on what you are trying to analyze. And if I hit apply, that has set up the bin so that if I go back to trace and hit data binning, it will create the bin. So you can see right here before where there are 1 million data points, it has found the average of those data points at each location, and that has been reported as 1 point. And that's really obvious if we go back to that data binning option and select area. We can see that this is the grid where that LMA was using to average those points. Now, right now, this is purely cosmetic, which means that once I close this window, all of this data binning is going to go away. But if I want to do more statistical analysis with these data bins, I can go left click, trace, and go to create binning measures. And that will create a new log file with those data bins. So now that it is finished, if you go up to the left, you can see that this is the new log file with the binned data. So if I just select the new file, and then go back to here and do a statistic chart, you can see that this is the statistic chart for the bin data, whereas originally this was statistics chart. So you can see that in the original, the green was slightly underrepresented, the blue was slightly overrepresented, but that has been fixed after doing the data binning. So that's the basics with data binning in LMA. If you're interested in learning more about LMA, check out some of the other videos on the Wireless Metrics YouTube channel or the knowledge base linked on the Wireless Metrics website.